that if you desire to follow Christ, really be a follower of Jesus, it is always going to be outside of your comfort zone. Nothing is going to get done great for God as long as we hang out in a comfort zone. In other words, you cannot live in the ordinary and experience the extraordinary with God. Somewhere along the line, if you're going to be a disciple, you've got to leave your comfort zone in order to follow Jesus. In other words, I just can't add Jesus to everything I'm doing. Jesus is a pattern interrupt to my life. If I throw 3 old ships up on the screen, you probably know what they are: the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. In the 15th century, the common belief was that the earth was flat, and if you got too far out into the ocean, it was inhabited by all of these sea monsters. Sailors were terrified to go out into the ocean. They were afraid they would sail off the edge of the world and that monsters would reach up and grab them. I'm not talking about like whale monsters. I'm talking about like water dragons and those kind of things. And so for centuries, mariners had just hugged the coastlines and stayed on well-traveled routes. So even to go from Europe down to Africa, they would hug the coastline and stay close because they were afraid to go into uncharted waters. But it was in 1492, Christopher Columbus decided to challenge that, and he ventured in those 3 ships out into the open sea. And he got out into those open waters, and it wasn't smooth sailing. His sailors at one point were very unhappy with him and threatened to throw him overboard. The rumors of sailing off the edge of the world and sea monsters began to circulate among the ships and the sailors, and they got very, very nervous. But it was on October 12, 1492, after 36 days at sea, that Columbus's persistence paid off, and they landed in the Bahamas and then began the journey of the New World. Here's why I tell you that story. Because all the sailors had done before him was hug safety. And nothing great had got done hugging safety. And Columbus refused to stay in the safe zone. And when he found the Americas, here's what he said. He was a believer, and he said this: "Thus the eternal God, our Lord, gives victory to those who follow his way over apparent impossibilities." He gives victory to those who follow his way over apparent impossibilities. In other words, Columbus says this: victory doesn't come to those who hang out in the comfort zone. And we have a tendency to hug the shoreline of obedience. We have a tendency to hug the shoreline of giving. We have a tendency to hug the shoreline of following Jesus and discipleship and faithfulness. Yet here's the God we serve in Ephesians 3:20. "Now unto him who is able to do above and beyond all that we ask according to the power that works in us." According to we ask or think. According to the power that works in us. This is not comfort zone discipleship. This is not comfort zone Christianity. If you're going to be a follower of Jesus, he invites all of us to do that. That is, step outside of our comfort zone and to be radical for the cause of Christ.